That's the HP Envy 14. This was my first ever laptop and also my last Windows machine. My father bought me this in October of 2011 for my birthday, and after almost a decade, we still have it. Then in early 2013, I started uploading to YouTube and got really into editing videos. So in mid 2014, my father bought me a Mac Mini, which was my introduction to Mac OS and was spectacular. But then in 2016, I moved to college and it was really limiting living with a Mac Mini as a college student in hostel. Yes, I took the Mac Mini with me along with that 24-inch monitor. I couldn't edit in the library, I couldn't edit in the bed. So when I came back after the first semester, I sold the Mac Mini and the monitor. And once again, with massive help from my father, I managed to get the MacBook Pro with the touch bar. And that's when the issues started arising. Now my initial time with it was great. I liked the touch bar, the speakers, the trackpad, the display, but soon enough the keys became sticky. I had to press really hard on a few keys so that they could appear on screen. Apple did launch a free repair program for this, but the only problem was I had already tried to remove the keys myself and clear the dust away. And I failed, and I broke a key, and I lost my chance to get the keyboard repaired for free. The second issue that I developed was with the display, and this was more serious. So in the 2016 and 17 MacBook Pro, Apple used a shorter cable that connected the base of the laptop to the display. So every time I closed or opened the lid of the computer, the display cable was inevitably getting damaged, and it eventually led to a point where if I pulled it further than 60 degrees, the whole display would shut off. Apple launched a free repair program for this as well, but this time only 13-inch MacBook Pros were eligible. So all of this combined with some additional motherboard problems, my MacBook Pro eventually became completely inoperative and I had no other option than to sell it, which I did. Now the problem is, I'm still just as broke as I was back in college. So I can't afford any new laptop, let alone a MacBook Pro, and I don't want the father to pay for it anymore. But I do have a solution, and it's a big one. This is the Asus ROG Zephyrus GX701, and this is what I have now switched to. It's a review unit that I had in my disposal for the longest time, and it's really big with a 17-inch display. It's really fancy and it's incredibly powerful. This also happens to be a Windows machine, which actually means two things. First, I had to switch from Final Cut Pro to Premiere Pro, and second, no more AirDrop. Now, I'm actually doing fine without AirDrop. I used to mostly use AirDrop to transfer images from my Mac to my iPhone. But now I just use WhatsApp to transfer those images. And I transfer those images as documents, so I don't even lose any quality. So I'm just doing fine. The actual challenge actually lied in shifting to Premiere Pro and using it as my daily video editor software to edit videos. Now the most used apps on my Mac were Chrome, Notes, and Final Cut Pro. I still use Chrome. I've shifted to Evernote and it's fine. It's not as good as the Notes app, but it's fine. And I've shifted from Final Cut Pro to Premiere Pro. And although I'm pretty fluid at Premiere Pro now, I still really miss Final Cut Pro, mostly because of the ease of use and the variety of plugins that were available for it. As far as the rendering times and exporting times are concerned, it's definitely slower than FCP, but now my videos are sub 5 minutes long, so even Premiere doesn't take more than 10 minutes to export those. But had it been FCP, my videos would have been exported in less than 5 minutes, which is not a big deal, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, but imagine I find an error in the exported video, I fix that and I re-export it. FCP would do that in just a few minutes of time and Premiere would end up wasting a lot of time. I hope it never happens, but it's actually already happened. But you know what, I can't keep bitching about my situation anymore. Even in this difficult situation, which to be honest is not that difficult, I was kind of privileged to be using this kind of a machine, which is way overkill for my needs. And earlier I think what happened for the good. Earlier I was kind of terrified of breaking out of Apple's ecosystem and returning to Windows and switching to Premiere. But now, since I was left with no other choice, I have actually done that, and that fear is gone and vanished. I've switched to Premiere, I've broken out of Apple's ecosystem, and I'm on to making more and more content and uploading to YouTube. That's been it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe, turn on the notifications, and I'll talk to you in the next one.